Nigerians vividly reject GMOs. GMO simply means genetically modified foods. And our own APROKO doctor, who is publicly known as APROKO doctor both online, especially on YouTube, is being tackled by Nigerians because he is advocating for this particular GMO. He is supporting bigot, and GMO will linger unless say it is used to curtail or let's say to control population in the country. Many African countries are rejecting this.
Idiot, APROKO doctor, idiot. Let me call you idiot. Why don't tell the government let them invest in farmer? Is it that we cannot farm what we eat? All these animals, when they just pay their money, when they just give them money, they will begin to talk rubbish. No wonder if you watch that nonsense guy video, you will fear for your life. I don't know this. It's always sponsored to say shit. Waiting concern Nigerians and GMO. Is that our problem? You are trying to introduce GMO. Other countries where they reject and you are more learned than them. Eh? I'm a Igbo. I don't understand. Because they call you a APROKO doctor, you think you are well learned than other doctors in the hospital. You are coming out to say, GMO does not have anything to do with human. You see somebody's explanation now. You see what he explain. That thing they make sense to you. Tell the government use your platform well for once. And Nigeria will make all these people popular and invest me. Tell your government to invest in agriculture so that we personal go they get from it. Must you be patronizing brigades? Our cloth now, we don't more have any cloth produced by Nigerian, and we used to have it. We don't have any cloth in Nigeria produced by Nigerians. No drug now Nigeria drinks produced by Nigerians. Everything. The only food where farmers say they chop for village, idiot. APROKO doctor, you introduce GMO. You know better for you. Wallahi talai. You know go better for you. That chukuruma buru banka. You know go ever better for you. Follows other Nigerian influencers. Yes, all those influencers may not be like saying somebody they teach me and they talk. No now. Plus all the Nigerian influencers, who see now where they collect money they sell on our fourth generation. I want to tell you for free. In 50 years coming now, that your rubbish celebrity you are, it will not work again. Other people will rise than you. You think you will be at the top forever. Listen, that time, I couldn't wonder, what is cancer? Have there ever been a cancer in the history of humanity? I don't ever hear for village, when I did village before, like, when they were really small, like, they talk about small time now. You don't ever hear somebody say the person get cancer. All these nonsense drugs and everything they are putting in humanity just to enrich them. Our natural resources, if we are not careful, greed will make us that our natural resources become useless. We will lose everything. We're going to lose everything now. Our natural resources, what we take, they do say we Africans leave our land. They are coming in a way. These people are well learned. These people smart. They sit down one place, reason how do we enter them. Christianity and Muslim does not even work again. They are looking for another way to produce income. They're seeing us coming together. They're seeing us coming together. 2025, some Nigerians are still accepting money from these people that have never liked black for once. You watch American movie. You gonna say the bad skin now black people they take the atom. You see thief? You can never see American movie where they say you see I'm saying na black person I be soldier. You don't go see na black person I be thief. Na black person they don't like us.
Another concern about these GMO seeds is that a lot of the GMO seeds that are currently in circulation are actually controlled by a few companies. And these companies can decide what they want to do with it. There's also the concern that some of these modified seeds can actually go into a particular area and actually overshadow the local plants that are already occurring in that particular area, removing biodiversity from the particular area.
Honestly, don't get why they are dragging APROKO doctor for this video. In my opinion, his submission was balanced. He was not really advocating for GMOs. But anyway, I'll leave that to the health and medical people to argue the science. But let me come from the economic point of view. The major economic advantage Nigeria has over the world is our arable land, not even crude oil, because there are speculations that in the nearest future, crude oil will no longer be as important, if at all. But today until the world ends, humans will always need food. So there is a guaranteed demand for whatever it is Nigeria is going to produce. And consistently, agriculture has been the major contributor to our GDP. So it is very, very important to Nigeria. Now, we hear that these GMO seeds, anywhere they are planted, you have to keep planting GMO seeds there to take a while before you can plant organic. Now imagine I'm a farmer importing this thing from a certain company and my company has an issue with that company. It means that my land is useless. Or on the national level, Nigeria has an issue with the country that supplies us GMO seeds. our land is useless, so we have to be constantly dependent on the company or the country that is supplying us these seeds, which is a national security concern. So I don't even know why we're having this discussion, because nothing concerns us. See, there's another argument I'm hearing that GMO farming or GMO seeds will help bring down the cost of food. I don't know about that. What I know for a fact is that there are more important things that are, affecting the price of our food that we should focus on before we can consider GMO. Why is food expensive in Nigeria? First one is insecurity. Everybody knows this. Farmers cannot go to the farm, which has reduced the supply of food, which has increased prices. The second one a lot of people don't consider is naira devaluation. All your farm inputs, your farm equipment, from your tractors, generators, everything, they need fuel, petrol, diesel. Now, as naira devalues, the prices of these fuels go up, which increases cost of production. And that one a lot of people don't consider is, as naira depreciates relative to neighboring African countries, farmers will be incentivized to divert food that is not even enough for us to go and sell in these other countries. And it's economics, it's not wickedness. I'm a farmer. If I sell this in Nigeria, the value I'll capture in naira is lower than if I sell it in Benin Republic. So I'd rather go and sell it in Benin Republic and then bring the money here and become a big boy in Nigeria. So Nigeria, we need to first focus on our insecurity problems, our naira, the naira depreciation. Then we can ask, okay, this is the cost of our food. After solving these problems, how does GMO help us? And finally, I foresee a situation in the future where, as this whole GMO debate, rages, we'll see situations where food is separated as GMO and organic. And humans will naturally tend to go for organic, right? And as more people prefer organic, the price of organic food goes up. And if Nigeria remains organic, it means that our economic value is going to go up. So, I don't know why we're having these GMO discussions, to be honest.
This is my mother's corn that she's preparing for the next planting season. Now I ask you, with GMO, can a farmer go to her farm to get seeds for the next planting season? The answer is no. And what happens when the West refuses to sell us these seeds? We'll have to bend our backs lest we go into famine. Until the insects you brought infested our land, we used to have bountiful yields, but we plant 5 plots of land, all corns, and it's so green and fresh, and people will come to buy from us, people that are selling, people that want to roast, people that want to hawk it. But now, I remember my mother came from the farm one day and she was like, insects have eaten everything, insects have destroyed the whole corn. The insects you brought, and conveniently you want to bring a seed that cannot be eaten by these insects. The colonizers came. They gave our chiefs and our kings mirrors, bicycles, drinks, and fancy stuff for them to lie to us, deceive us, and sell us, because they know that we believe in our chiefs. We listen to our kings. We thought they have our best interest at heart. Now, to these influencers, what have they given to you? How much did they pay for you to lead us into famine? How much were you paid for you to lie to us and deceive us? We are still struggling from the influence of the West. We are still battling from bad governance. Please, I beg of you, do not lead us into famine. Famine should not be added to this bad governance we are still struggling with, because enough is enough. You don't care about Africans that much.
I will keep proving that I am here for truth. I will keep proving that I'm not here for eye service. I will keep proving that regardless of who I like or who I speak for, if the person comes out tomorrow to disappoint or to do something that goes in contrary, APROKO Doctor is somebody that I've actually respected for years, and I'm still respecting him. Nothing has actually changed. But then, this is the very first time I am seeing APROKO Doctor defending what that guy is. A very intelligent guy to start with. That is the reason I even started liking him. You never get anything where APROKO Doctor talk what they do. In fact, I must tell you the truth. APROKO Doctor is the person that inspired my water drinking culture. This is how many years now? See me. With my water drinking culture from morning, I stopped beer for years. To tell you how much I followed this guy. Now, I saw APROKO Doctor saying something about the GMO, genetically modified organisms, and a lot of people have been saying a whole lot of things, expressing disappointment, cursing him even. We don't need to curse people. We need to draw people's attention to the truth, to what it is, the original thing. You see, this influence thing? Influence thing is not easy. Once you have influence, it is very, in fact, almost impossible not to be corrupted. Yes, almost impossible. No matter how much I speak for somebody, I always have that room for you to do one or two things tomorrow that disappoints me, and I adjust. By adjusting doesn't mean that I will leave you, or I have to, stop liking you or stop respecting you. But I have to adjust based on the fact that I was expecting that you are human. I mean, we have things to do. We have responsibilities. We also in Nigeria. APROKO doctor's approach to what GMO is what I'm actually most disappointed at. Not really what he said. If you look at APROKO doctor, how he said what he said, APROKO doctor, you are too intelligent for this now. APROKO doctor had to do a whole lot to make sure that he was making sense. Yet at the end of the day, it wasn't sound as if he was actually making sense. Respectfully saying. Immediately I started watching, I said, APROKO did this thing. Leave the GMO aside. Let's leave it. Did you see how he delivered the whole thing? Compare how he delivered it to how he has been delivering a whole lot in the past. APROKO knows how to be very confident in what he knows how to defend. I've never doubted him, because once you are listening to him, you are getting a whole lot from him. But this very one, nothing. I mean, I watched it and I had to repeat, and I wasn't getting any single thing from what he was saying. So, what is now GMO? That is the question. What is genetically modified organisms? I mean, from the word genetic, from the word modify, what is genetic? Gene, something where the body already knows, something that is inherently wired inside. What is modified? Changing, altering, adjusting. Now, what is organisms? Edible things that have sort of life inside, right? Very good. What is the essence of this whole thing? What is the essence of this whole grammar? For the purpose of keeping those things fresher than they were originally meant to be. It is actually the science of altering how crops grow. So they grow faster, they resist pests without pesticides, and don't spoil easily, just for mass production and profit. So the big question is, was APROKO doctor right when he said that GMO is 100% safe? I mean, that's the question everybody has in mind, right? I mean, for the fact that he's coming from APROKO doctor, everybody seems disappointed. And especially because APROKO doctors actually dragged countless products, snacks, canned foods being too artificial and too processed, too fake. He even held one festival in Lagos. The purpose was just to inspire the culture of, taking water, taking something that is actually 100% safe water. The only thing APROKO doctor knows in life, in fact, he keeps saying it in his video, that is natural and safe, is only water. Now suddenly lab-grown and modified foods are very okay for APROKO doctor. So the question now is GMO good or bad? Let's reframe this question. Before asking if GMO is actually good or bad, ask yourself this very question. Are canned foods bad for your health? Do processed food contribute to cancer or body toxicity? Why do doctors still recommend fresh fruits and vegetables, not lab-enhanced ones? Why are chronic illnesses like colon cancer, infertility rising in countries where these GMO crops are dominant? If you can answer this very question, then maybe you have already answered the GMO question. See, let's call it what it is. Let's define this. GMO is a man-made interference with what God gave in abundance. What in maize do? What all these crops do now? When our wise past God, we keep up for that. When our wise past God that has been providing for us without even knowing. Why are you trying to, what is the purpose of all these things? We've been doing real estate for years, yet every single person that's actually grown to buy property or invest in real estate still has a lot in abundance for them. That's how the universe works. It has been programmed to provide every single person, both the unborn, with things that will outlive them. No man will outlive the abundance of what the universe actually gave us. If it's not greed, if it's not for the purpose of profit, tell me, I may stay on and say they die. APROKO doctor and co, make this make sense to me. You took what is actually growing freely from the soil and retouched it in a lab just to serve for mouths, make more money, and control what enters your body and others' body. You see, that's not preservation. That is not even trying to feed mouths. That's perversion. It's an unholy perversion of the balance of nature. There's nothing you are telling me. It's more like trying to, infuse something in man for man to stay 200 years. I don't know if you're following me. You want to alter what has been, inherently wired to function the way. And the funny thing, this isn't just food. It's actually science disguised as generosity. And guess what again, which is actually funnier? The ones controlling it aren't your neighbors in Abia or Akure or even in Anambra or Lagos or Abuja. It's a system that never respects the boundary of Africa in the first place. All of a sudden, GMO, look at the crops that they choose to, for this GMO thing. Corn, maize. What are corn producing? What are the byproducts? Sweet corn, cornflakes, cornstarch. Billions consume it in a daily. Soybeans, soy milk, baby food, animal food, canola oil. You shake your ground oil, you see that, you have it at home. Papaya using juice. But let's ask this. Why didn't they genetically modify yam, cocoyam, bitter leaf, or bonogo? Why haven't they touched fufu, batu? Why haven't they touched all these things? Simple because these crops doesn't feed them. They feed us. And for some reason, these crops that are naturally, traditionally African have been untouched. That's not conscience, that's intention, I swear. The truth is, I'm not even here to condemn GMO. Who am I now? I mean, nobody where APROKO and the government officials and the ministries, and global bodies have actually embraced it. But as an African man, raised on fresh fruits, ogo, from my backyard, who understands the health value of fresh okra in my system and fresh obona and all these fresh things in my system. I mean, God blessed us with it. It's an African, thing. Nature is part of our essence. And somehow, some people are trying to come against that very nature. Farming is part of Africa. Farming is part of the identity of Africa. So, we have the strength to farm. We have the strength to grow these things. We don't necessarily need help. APROKO doctor, we don't necessarily need help. What are we modifying? We enjoy it this way. There's a reason why fruits, all these things spoils. There's a reason why they're perishable. That's the nature. You can't change it. You can't alter it. Any attempt to alter it doesn't speak generosity. It doesn't speak conscience. It speaks of ulterior motive. Live food is not African. This is not our way. And even if it's called safe, it's not the same. I know that what you are going to do is you will try to compare it with AI and tell me it's AI African. AI stimulates our brain. GMO invades our biology. Big difference. This isn't just about the food, it's about trust. It's about the whispers of science that slowly replace your culture with convenience. If the same people who told you that bleaching creams are safe, who made sugar-free drinks more deadly, now tell you that love crops are best, maybe it's time to question the altar you are eating from. It's time to question the things you've been eating. Don't lose your soul just to fill your stomach. Allow nature to breathe. You are an African before any other thing.
About 12,000 years ago, humans realized that we could save the seed from the food that we ate to grow more food. The discovery of agriculture catapulted us forward as a species. Unlike any other animal on the planet, we suddenly could move beyond the constant search for food. We had time to think and love and draw and speak and create and communicate. It was the dawn of consciousness. For 12,000 years, humans planted, tended, and harvested crops. We ate some, we shared some, and we saved the seed to plant the next time. Food was plentiful and cheap. And then in the 1990s, Americans said, "This is all wrong." American salesmen traveled all over the global south. They talked down native species and said, no, those are all prone to diseases. Oh, they don't have enough nutrients. We're bringing you a gift. Miracle seeds. Guaranteed results. And the Americans sold the seeds at a very high price, on credit, of course. As they had for thousands of years, small farmers all over the global south planted the seeds, and they grew the plants, they harvested the food, they sold some, they shared some, they ate some, and they saved some of the seeds to plant the next year. But the next year, the fields were empty. Not a single seedling came up. The farmers started panicking, and they ran to the Americans and they begged for answers. And the Americans snarled at them, "Saving seeds is theft. We own the seeds now. We own life itself. You have to buy new seeds from us every year." And the farmers suddenly found themselves enslaved in an endless debt cycle. The American plants were too uniform and they were more susceptible to pests and diseases. So now the farmers were forced to buy the Americans' poisons to treat their plants. And the poisons killed off native species. They fouled the water and the air, stripped the soil of life. There is no greater threat to the people of this planet than American greed. Their culture is inhuman. They are the enemies of humanity. They must be stopped.
Top 3 reasons we should say no to GMOs, especially in Nigeria and across Africa. You know, I keep hearing people hype up GMOs. They say it's the future of food. But honestly, I don't get it. What's behind the hype? Let's break it down. Reason number 1, health. Do we really know what we're eating when it's genetically modified? How do we even test the long-term effects? Our kids eat this food every day. Can we be sure it won't mess with their health years from now? I'm not saying every GMO is poison, but why risk it? Would you feed your dog food if you weren't sure it's safe? Exactly. Reason number 2, control. Whoever controls the food supply controls us. If big foreign companies own the seeds, they can decide prices, decide what grows, and even if we get to farm at all. If we, the youth, don't take charge of farming, someone else will dictate what we eat. Do we really want to depend on outsiders for our daily bread? Reason number 3, our farmers. GMOs can push small farmers out. Many GMO seeds can't be replanted. You buy new ones every season. That's money out of a farmer's pocket, every single year. Our grandparents farmed with seeds they could save and share. Why give that up? If we lose our farmers, we lose our independence. Let me tell you something simple. You know how when you keep feeding a dog every day, the dog comes to rely on you? It doesn't even try to find food on its own anymore. That's us. If we hand over our food supply to these companies, once we depend on them, we're stuck. So, what's really behind this GMO hype? Is it about feeding Africa or feeding profits? Share this message widely, especially in areas without internet, to warn others about potential scams. Let's spread awareness about GMO concerns before it's too late.
This genetically modified food, in case you don't understand, I hope that after watching this video from the beginning to this time, you'll be able to know and differentiate between organic food and this genetically modified food. And you should know the one to support. In case you don't understand, these people want to control Africa. They want to control how we feed ourselves. They want to control everything that has to do with Africa. Do you understand? Remember that few months ago, this man said this big guy said that 99% of his assets, of his life savings, will go to, in fact, he will deposit it, he will give it to Africans. We don't know that this man is coming. When I heard what this man said, I said that this man is bringing something to tarnish Africans. He's bringing something to control our population. He's bringing something to buy Africans. And guess what is happening? He's now coming in with what the Westerners, what the Europe, America, Canada, they all rejected this particular GMO. Why bringing it to Africa? Why is TINUBU accepting this? Why is Kenyan government accepting this? Burkina Faso of all people, why are you accepting this? Traore. Ghana presidents, why are you accepting this? Africans, it is high time we should all rise and demand the end of this particular GMO. We should all reject this GMO because it is not coming to our country to stay, it is coming to destroy. Anyway, my lovers and viewers, what is your opinion regarding this? Vividly drop your opinion in the comment section. If this is your first time coming across our YouTube channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the bell button so you will always get notified whenever we post our latest content. Thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for more updates.